Welcome back to the bettors on Monday morning. We are kicking this week off with two pretty nice little overall cards. Full slate breakdown for both the NBA and the MLB as usual. If you want to team up, please, you can go to patreon.com/slash the bettors on and join the Discord channel and support the podcast. We are just getting right into it. First game on the board. We are starting with NBA as always. LA Lakers at the Orlando Magic. Spread is 9.5 to 10. LeBron still out. We didn't get any updates from the Lakers on his status for I don't know, 3 weeks. He was supposed to be 1 to 2 weeks behind AD. That should basically mean that he should be back by the end of this week or sometime next week, but no update yet. Schroeder is also questionable for this game. You know that I'm not betting Lakers games until AD and LeBron are both back and fully healthy. And I'm not sure at this point we will see LeBron back in time for the regular season. And that's kind of scary, in my opinion. They are currently at the fifth seed, only 1.5 games ahead of Dallas. If they get to the sixth seed, that's, in my opinion, a first round exit. So yeah, hopefully that won't happen. League is better off with the Lakers making a nice run, but it's getting more difficult the day by the day. So yeah, Orlando lost 5 straight, 1-9 in the last 10, fourth worst record, tons of injuries. Michael Cotton Williams, Ennis, Isaac, Ross Portal all out. They are also on a back-to-back. Minutes were kept relatively low. My line here would be around Lakers -9, so you have to pay a little extra to back LA here. I'm not going to get involved. We did the side here. San Antonio Spurs at the Washington Wizards, 1.5, basically 2 is the spread. Spurs road favorites. Wizards won 8 straight games with last night's W. They are currently sitting on the 10th seed in the East. I think they are going to keep that. But this is a difficult spot. This is their third game in 4 nights, a back-to-back. Minutes were pretty high last night. Beal played 39, Westbrook 36 minutes. And the injury issues. So we know that Hachimura is out for sure. But Lopez also questionable and likely out. He tweaked his knee. And the worst news for Wizards fan, Beal tweaked his calf and he is also questionable. After playing 39 minutes on a back-to-back, now that they have this play-in spot, I'm not sure they will risk Beal here if he's any bit of questionable, to be honest. There is no point. They will be out in the play-in game if Beal is not playing. That is for sure. They have to make sure that he is 100% healthy. I'm also not very high on the Spurs, but they won 4 out of the last 5. Solid fundamentals were always there. They just don't have any talent, but they are a solid overall team, and both teams playing really nice defense. In points per possession, both are in the top 5 of the last in the entire league in the last 2 weeks. So I'm not really upgrading the Wizards based on their win streak. Besides the Utah win, that was really nice 2 weeks ago. They played Cleveland, OKC twice, Detroit, New Orleans, the Kings, and Golden State. Golden State is okay, but the rest of these teams are bad. These are teams they are supposed to beat. That's my main issue with upgrading them, really. Spurs are putting up the third most mid-range shots. They are 11th in field goal percentage. Wizards, even with the defensive improvements, are dead last against mid-range shots in field goal percentage allowed. I'm expecting a strong, slow-paced defensive game. If Bill sits, I think 1.5 to 2 is a great value, but I'm probably getting on this myself as well, because my line is very close to 1.5 and 2, even if Bill plays. So this has the lottery ticket potential of Bill sitting out. But even if he's in, I think this line is kind of fair, and there is some value on the Spurs here, and in fading the Wizards win streak. Atlanta, Detroit 5.5 spread. I have to bet the Detroit Pistons here. Atlanta playing third game in 4 nights back to back. Most importantly, Young is out, but they are without Hunter, Reddy, Snell, and Dunn. They are playing basically a seven-man rotation. Everyone played 30-ish minutes last night. Starters more than 30. My fully healthy, equally rested Hawks number is close to 5.5. I'm given I'm a bit higher on Detroit than the market. They have been playing really close games for most of the year, and they have been outperforming the spreads pretty consistently. But 5.5 without Young on the road, 13-4 and the back-to-back with this short rotation, I think that's a lot. I hate Detroit. This might be the last time I'm backing them. They are kind of started like real hardcore tanking, so this bet might burn me. But I think Detroit is the side at 5.5, and it's a bet you should take, in my opinion. OKC at Philadelphia, 11.5 point spread. OKC lost 13 straight games. Philly with multiple injuries. Simmons is out. Embiid and Harris are both questionable. We are not touching this game. I think at 11.5 there is a number edge on OKC here. 14 would be my fully healthy number. Even with Simmons out, I'm around 12. So basically, you can bet into this game and hope that either Embiid or Harris sits. But I'm not going to get involved with OKC. They are the masters of tanking. Phoenix Suns at the New York Knicks, 1.5 to 2 point spread. I mean, you have to give the Knicks some respect here. They are looking amazing. 4th seed, playing better and better. They are beating teams they are not supposed to beat, and I'm the number one guy to doubt them. I love the Knicks. The whole league would be way better off if the Knicks would become a good team. I'm still not 100% bought in, but I mean, the Suns have issues. They haven't been playing amazing in the last few games, especially Booker. My line here is exactly 2, so I'm not going to get involved, but the Suns are on a back-to-back. They played like 35 minutes on average last night. They did have to travel. Crowder and Saric are both out, very likely. And yeah, Knicks will have the rebounding edge. They do have the better turnover rate. The offense has been clicking lately, although versus way weaker defenses than Phoenix's. In the last 6 games, the effective field goal percentage of New York looked like this: 54%, 59%, 54%, 60%, 65%, and 67%. Yeah, so in the last 2 weeks, they are first in points per possession per game and 6th in defense in points per possession allowed. 7-0 in the last 2 weeks, plus 12.5 point differential. So yeah, if I had to take a side, I would take the Knicks. They are fully rested at home. The Phoenix injuries and minutes and recent form, I don't think it's really promising in this spot. But I mean, I'm always doubting the Knicks, so I'm not going to touch this game. Cleveland Cavaliers at the Toronto Raptors, 9.5, basically a 10 is the spread. My number is exactly 10. Not going to get involved here. Toronto without Boucher. Cleveland had Sexton sit out last night. We don't know if it's injury related or just a rest spot, but they are playing their 3rd game in 4 nights, back-to-back also, 35-ish minutes on average for starters, so pretty high. Cleveland currently has the 6th worst record in the league. They are 3-7 in the last 10. Yeah, I don't want to do anything with this game. The Raptors, I mean, they are 5-5 in the last 10. They are now 2 games out of the 10 seed, and they are trying, but they are a bad team, and bad teams shouldn't lay 10 points. It's a dead season for both teams, but at least Cleveland has a normal draft pick, but the Raptors won't get anything for their participation. All right, let's go to the next game. Bulls at Miami, 4.5 point spread. This is a rematch from 2 days ago, I guess. Heat closed as 5-point favorites there and won by exactly 5 points, but there were some injury issues there. Basically, half of the team was questionable. The situation is a bit better right now. Dragic and Nunn are questionable, but they are looking like good to go. It wasn't confirmed, but based on what I could gather, I think they will play here, so the Heat will and should have a full squad. Bulls still without Levine. Obviously, that's a huge issue for them. 3-7 in the last 10. Things are not really looking great for them. They will have a huge rebounding edge as they always do. Heat are not a great rebounding team, but I mean Miami, they do have the better free throw rate. They force the second most turnovers in the league, while the Bulls commit the fifth highest rate of turnovers. And the Heat, I mean, they are a good defense in the paint against the three pointer. I mean, overall, they are just a much better team at home. I think this line is a bit short. I tell you that. I think this should be 5.5, maybe 6.5. 6 would be, I think, fair. I think we will get to 5.5 at least. If Dragic and Nunn are both announced in some, definitely looking at the Miami Heat. Utah Jazz at the Minnesota Timberwolves, 9.5 point spread. Mitchell still out for the Jazz. That's at least a 4 point downgrade in my book. I would be closer to 9 here than 9.5 and 10. The offense has been struggling without Mitchell. The Jazz are below average offensively in points per possession. They still hold a plus 7 point differential since he has been out, but things have been obviously not clicking as much. I think the main focus of the Jazz should be to get him back to healthy. It doesn't even matter if they fall to the second seed. It just doesn't matter. They should get Mitchell healthy, and they will be fine in the playoffs. No bet here. LA Clippers at the New Orleans Pelicans. I hate the Pelicans, but I think there is some value here on them. Clippers without Beverly, Ibaka, Kawhi, Kennard, and Rondo is questionable. My line here is closer to Clippers -2, but I'm extremely low on the Pelicans, so I'm really not going to get involved here. Memphis at Denver, 4.5 spread. Memphis is playing a back-to-back. They just played last night. We were on them. They won. You are not going to find me. It's the last 3 weeks of the season, 3 weeks left of the regular season. You won't find me backing teams on back-to-backs here, especially if they are playoff contenders. We don't know the injuries and the rest the situation with them this early. Obviously, I'm recording the podcast like 6-7 hours before the first injury news come out of the day. So yeah, both teams are super similar. Strong rebounding. Offense is very strong recently for both. Defense is like league average. Nuggets without Murray, Morris, and now Will Barton is also out. They don't really have backup guards. I think they were a thinner team than last year coming into the season. They brought in obviously a few quality guys, but they are now in a pretty rough shape when it comes to their guards. My line here is Nuggets -3 if everyone is playing for Memphis. So slight edge on the dog, but I'm not going to get involved. I think these are very similar teams. Both have their issues right now. Memphis maybe has less issues. JJJ likely back after sitting out last night's game. This is back-to-back. They are also going from an early game to a late game, which is less of a downgrade in my opinion. So yeah, leaning Memphis, no bet. Dallas Cowboys, Mavericks at the Sacramento Kings. It's Monday. 5.5 spread. Sacramento back-to-back with travel. Very high minutes played last night, 37 to 38 minutes by starters. But the Mavs have Doncic, Porzingis, Richardson, and Kleber as questionable. So they are kind of unbettable at this point. These guys will be most likely all game time decisions. I don't want that. I think there is a slight value on the Mavs. Obviously, if everyone plays, there is value on the Mavs. That would be closer to 6.5. But you cannot really get involved. So yeah, it's a nice card, but not certainly for betting. I'm summing up my looks here, and then we will talk some baseball. So I like the Spurs. Hachimura out, Lopez likely out, and I think Beal won't play. Obviously, that's a speculation, but if he's in, I'm even if he's in, I'm fine with the 1.5. Detroit 5.5. You have to take that. This number is just off if you are rating these teams how you should rate them. Hawks without Young on a back-to-back short roster. They have billion of secondary injuries. It's just too many points to lay. I'm leaning towards the Knicks here. I make this two. No value right now, but if we see Phoenix money, as many are still doubting the Knicks, I would maybe get on the Knicks on a cheap with a cheap money line wager. Miami Heat 4.5. That's likely not enough. I'm expecting both Dragic and Nunn to play. This should be 6.5 in my opinion, and that's likely. So yeah, we will have less and less wagers as we go deeper into the season. These NBA breakdowns will get shorter and shorter as there isn't really much to discuss. All right, now we are flipping to MLB. Thankfully, we don't have a billion games, and a couple of games are off the board, so we can take some time here talking some baseball. Only 15 minutes in. First game on the board: KC at Detroit. Brett Keller, Spencer Turnbull. I have been backing the KC Royals last night. We did win our wager. I wanted to back them on Saturday as well. I think they are playing nice ball. Everything is looking really okay for that team. They won't be like world beaters, but they are an average team, and Detroit is not. They are far from being an average team. But here, I mean, Brett Keller is unbackable. He had 4 starts so far, pitched 12 innings, 5.6 Sierra, 13% walk rate, 6.7% swinging strike rate, 85% contact rate. He has a 6+ FIP against both sides of the plate. It's extremely bad. Turnbull, sadly, he only pitched 1 start. I like the guy. He's one of my favorite pitchers in the entire league, but he started the season late, and his first game came against Pittsburgh, and you cannot really take away anything from a performance against Pittsburgh. They are the worst team in the league right now. Turnbull looked great in the first start, went 62 pitches, struck out 6, only an 18% hard contact rate, 31% K rate. My look here would be Pistons, Tigers through the first 5. The value is still not there yet. I haven't bet it yet. But the Pistons Tigers bullpen is one of the worst in the league, and I have been following the games recently, and it's really really bad. And they are the bullpen is kind of overused right now. Also, I couldn't back Detroit as a money line play for the full game, but I think Turnbull is just so much better than Keller, and if he would pitch like 2 games already, I would be already with a Detroit bet in my account, but I haven't bet it yet. We've seen some KC money early, not much, but the line has been moving a bit towards KC. If like the first 5 flips into like plus money on Detroit, I will have a wager on them. But it's really an interesting game. Watch this game. I mean, Turnbull is great. Watching Turnbull pitch is just fun. Minnesota at Cleveland, Berrios at Zach Plazak, Berrios minus 123. I completely agree with the line. This opened up minus 115, got instantly bet up, and money is coming in on Minnesota like crazy, and they should. They have the better starter, the better offense, the better bullpen, and the bullpen is more rested. So why shouldn't they be huge favorites here? And they aren't huge favorites, small road favorite. Plazak got super unlucky so far. 6.7 ERA, his Sierra is sub 4. Everything is looking fine. His swinging strike rate suggests that his K rate, which is currently 17%, will come up. He got unlucky with the left on base rate, the home run to fly ball ratio, the batted ball luck has been bad, but everything is looking fine. But even if he's at his peak, Berrios is just a way better pitcher. And I think what we've seen from him so far is really promising. 38% K rate. That lets you get away with a lot. and he's giving up low hard contact. I like everything about Berrios. Hopefully he will keep up his good performances. Cleveland is a bad offense. I really want to fade them. If this gets back to minus 115, which was the opener, I will be on Minnesota. New York Yankees at Baltimore. David Garcia at Matt Harvey. Matt Harvey is really bad. You want to fade Matt Harvey. Kluber was supposed to be the starter here. He got pushed back for tomorrow. Garcia making his first start of the season. He just got called up. He's a really talented guy. The Yankees have a lot of these middle high endish arms that they can start anytime someone falls out of the rotation. This opened as minus 170 and it's now down to minus 160 on Garcia. If we are going to go towards minus 150, my interest level rises. As I said, Garcia, 21 years old. He pitched only 34 innings last season, had a 4.2 SIERA, only 27% hard contact. He's missing bats. I like his profile overall, and Baltimore is really, really bad. I really wasn't watching too many Orioles games, I tell you that, but I just looked into them recently. 74 WRC plus against righties, a 27% K rate as a team against righties, 145 ISO, 2.89 xBOBA. It's not good, folks. The Orioles are not good. So yeah, slowly building. The value is slowly building on the Yankees. If we see further money on Matt Harvey, which is a thing I'm doubting, we will be on the Yankees. Cubs at Braves, Zach Davies, Charlie Morton. Line is perfect. I make this minus 170. This was minus 173 a few hours ago. Now 78. Money coming in on Atlanta. Zach Davies terrible. He has been getting unlucky, but he has a 6+ SIERA, 14% walk rate, 6.7% swinging strike rate. Not buying it. Dude is not missing any bats. He's walking everyone. Cubs overall mediocre. They had a few better offensive gains, but I'm just naturally impressed. Atlanta is one of the best teams in the league. Morton is a top 30 arm, no doubt about that. There is no line value here. A total also right, in my opinion. Oakland at Tampa Bay. Sean Manaea at Rich Hill. Rich Hill is a guy I have been fading for years, and I'm likely fading him here. He has a 4.3 SIERA, only a 6.7% swinging strike rate, 85% contact rate, not missing any bats. Lefties against Oakland, yeah, it's not a nice matchup for him. Manaea against Tampa Bay, I think he draws a nice matchup. So the Rays do have a 29% K rate against lefties this season, and it was consistently high in earlier seasons for this roster. So they are striking out a ton. Yes, they do have power and they walk a lot, but Manaea has a 5% walk rate and he only gives up 29% hard contact. He's missing bats, not walking anyone, not giving up hard contact. I think this is a good matchup. Oakland, I mean, they did get the win streak snapped last night, but I mean, this is still a team that won 13 straight games heading into this one. Offense has been slightly overperforming, but overall, this is a smart organization, a good starting pitcher, good bullpen. I think at minus 115 at BetCris Bookmaker, I think that's still value. Minus 122 on Pinnacle, that's starting to move where it should be, but I'm liking Oakland a bit. Miami at Milwaukee. This is a 6 total. Rogers at Burns. Burns has been probably the second best pitcher behind DeGrom so far this year. He has a 1.1 SIERA, 47% K rate, no walks, 19% swinging strike rate, 55% ground ball rate, 21% hard contact rate. Contact rate only 61%. He's getting tons of swings and misses outside of the zone. The dude is really feeling it right now. There is no point in fading him, especially not with the Marlins. The Marlins have a 0.098 ISO against right-handed batters so far. It's really bad. 80 WRC plus. I think Burns is in for another easy game, 6-7 innings, no earned likely. On the other end, Rogers has been also impressive. I'm liking him, but Milwaukee is a bit better against lefties. They are striking out a ton, but they do have more power against the left side of the plate. Um, Rogers 3.2 Sierra, 36% K rate, 20% swinging strike rate. He has a walk issue, currently walking almost 12% of opposing bats faced, high fly ball rate, but overall not contact rate still at 60%, missing bats. I like him, but I mean Milwaukee as a minus 170-ish favorite at the six total. You won't find 6.5. Sorry, it was six earlier. So we've seen some action on the over. I'm not sure who will score runs here. I tell you that. I'm not anyone. I'm not someone who's betting the over here. Philadelphia at St. Louis, Zach Wheeler, Adam Wainwright, great matchup. I like both arms here, and I'm not sure these are two great offenses, especially not against right-handed pitching. Both teams are slightly below league average against right-handed pitching. Both have 25% plus K rate against right-handed pitching. Both of these arms are missing bats, striking out guys. Hard contact is 33% or lower for both. My only, only issue could be the bullpens here, especially the Philly one. But I trust Wheeler. I think he can go deep. Wainwright coming off a 10 strikeout game. This is a bit more difficult matchup than he faced the last time out, but still, both bullpens are pretty rested, so they should have the key guys available. The starters are fine. I don't think these offenses are too great. My only issue going against this under look that I have is that there is a 16 mile per hour wind in the forecast by game time, and that's kind of a lot. I will look at the weather update later, but I think this should be 7.5 with these arms, these bullpens, and these offenses. LA Angels at Texas, Shohei Ohtani at Lyles. This is a rematch. Same two pitchers faced not too long ago. I think it was the last round, so like 5-6 days ago. Line was closing minus 183 for the LA Angels. They were at home. Now they are on the road. We've seen value on the Rangers there, and I think we will see value on the Rangers here. It's really difficult to bet them. One of the worst teams in the league. But Ohtani is getting overhyped. He's fine. He's super talented. I'm not doubting that. But he only pitched 2 starts so far. He almost has a 6 Sierra, 27% walk rate, 40% hard hit rate. He's only averaging 4 innings so far. Obviously, super low sample size, but I'm not sure they will be able to balance him pitching regularly and him hitting in the lineup. They would be better off if he was just hitting. He's really good at that. Lyles is okay, 4.2 Sierra, only a 3% walk rate, 11% swinging strike rate, but he's missing bats, but has a high fly ball rate. Hard contact rate is a bit higher than I would like, and right-handed bats are getting to him, and this is a super right-handed heavy lineup. I'm not sure I'm going to get involved, but I tell you that it's 100% sure that we will see from a numbers perspective value on the Rangers here. Seattle at Houston, Sheffield at Urquidy. Sheffield, not a guy I trust. 10% walk rate, swinging strike rate under 9%, hard contact a bit too much, not missing enough bats, and lefties are really getting to him. He's okay, but not great, and a bit inconsistent. He's also a lefty. Houston against lefties, 123 WRC plus so far, only an 18% K rate as a team. Urquidy had a couple of rough starts, but I think, this is his easiest matchup by far. He did look okay against Seattle. He already pitched against them once, and he pitched against Oakland twice back to back. That's pretty bad for a pitcher. And then he pitched at Coors Field, which is the most difficult place to pitch for anyone. So I'm not writing him down. He has a 4.5 Sierra so far, 22% K rate, 7.9% walk rate. Contact rate a bit too high. He's not missing as many bets as I would like. But this is Seattle. It's a bad team. Sheffield is inconsistent. I could see Seattle pull it off. It's not impossible. But Houston might be the value side here. I think this should open around minus 160 ish. For the Angels game, that's also off the board. I haven't mentioned it. I think that should be around Angels minus 140, 145. But I'm expecting minus 160, 65 basically. We will see. Colorado at San Francisco, Austin Gomber at Tony Disco, Antonio Descafani. Tony Disco has been looking great so far, and the Giants are kind of rolling. They won 4 out of the last 5. If you look at the ex-Boba underperformers, that's a group that's always getting market attention. And the Giants are the 6th highest underperformer team VOBA against ex-VOBA. Their VOBA is 34 points lower than their ex-VOBA. This Clafani, 3.6 Sierra, 24% K rate, 11% swinging strike rate, 57% ground ball rate, only 30% hard contact, 29. He's super dominant against righties. Rockies against right-handed pitchers so far, 67 WRC plus, 26% K rate, 6% walk rate. It's bad. I think the Sclafani will roll. Great pitching stadium. Rockies are a bad offense on the road. I think this is a perfect matchup. If you want a lock today, I think the Giants are the lock today. But they are slightly overpriced. I make this minus 150. Line is minus 159. Austin Gomber, 5.4 Sierra, 8% swinging strike rate, 17% walk rate so far. He had been getting super lucky with the balls in play, just a 160 betting average on balls in play against him. His velocity is down. Righties are really getting to him. 5.7 Sierra against right-handed FIP against right-handed pitchers. This opened up as minus 152 and shut up a bit towards the Giants. I'm not sure if this will come back. Likely not. I mean, the Sclafani at home, Giants looking awesome. They are still expected to perform better in the long run. But it's an interesting side nonetheless. Cincinnati at the LA Dodgers, Tyler Mahle, Urias looking awesome so far. 3.39 Sierra, 26% K rate. His whip under 1, 14% swinging strike rate, only 30% hard contact. He misses tons of bats and is getting a lot of chases outside of the zone. He's looking dominant. Tyler Mahle, 39% K rate. He's 13% swinging strike rate. Is kind of backing that up. So this could be close to sustainable. He's not giving up too much hard contact, only 31%, 17% infield fly ball rate. Pretty amazing stats, but he got lucky with 86% left on base rate, only a 190 batting average on balls in play, and he faced an easy schedule. He pitched against Arizona twice, at the Giants, which is a great pitching stadium, and at home against the Cardinals. I think this is a tough test for Mahle. I wouldn't back him here. But the Dodgers bullpen is looking really bad early on. 5.6 ERA, 5.2 xFIP. And they are coming off this Padres series where they had to pitch tons of innings, and we've seen the Dodgers and the Padres both play bad against after that series when they met the first time. There might be some hangover issue after those big series. Every time when these teams play just teams that aren't as good, and there isn't any rivalry between them. I show some value. No, I not anymore. I showed some value on the Dodgers. My line is -170, but it's already -172. So we've seen some Dodgers money in the last few hours. I think the matchup is great. Mali is great, but this is a difficult spot to back him in. All right, that's it. 35 minutes, not too shabby. Let's sum it up. I liked Spencer Turnbull, Detroit, first 5 innings. If this flips to dog or like, yeah, plus 100 would be enough for me. I'm monitoring Minnesota. It's currently -123. Barrios on the road. -115 would be a bet for me. Yankees, Garcia, -160. Again, not enough value, but -150 would be a spot where I go in. Oakland, I like them on the road, -115. I think that's a bettable range. -122. That's a bit that's getting where it should be. I like the under in the Cardinals game. If you want to make sure, then read the weather updates later. Wind is blowing out like crazy, but this is not a bad park for pitchers. Neither of these offenses scare me too much, and I like both these starters. Angels, as I said, they should open up around -140 to 45. We will see. Texas value likely, but I'm not going to touch that. Houston, I'm expecting at least -160. If the line is better than that from a Houston perspective, then I will be getting involved. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow at the same time. If you want to tear my plays, you can go to patreon.com/the Barrel Zone, join the Discord channel, or just support the podcast. I really appreciate you guys. I will see you tomorrow at the same time. Good luck with your wagers, as always.